Hello again, fellow BeachBum traders. Thank you for joining us for part 2 of our weekly trading game plan for the trading week of September 25th through September 29th, where we'll be selecting our top swing trading stocks to watch, stocks in our bullpen. We'll talk about how to manage our shopping list. Also, we'll look at dividend payers and some option strategies for making money trading while we wait for more top swing trading stocks to set up and give us an opportunity to make money in swing trading. So let's get started. Welcome, Flip of the Shippa. Thank you for joining us in the live chat today. Hope you're doing well. So here's our Google document with our notes for part 2 of our weekly trading game plan for the week of September 25th through September 29th. We keep our notes for our weekly trading game plans in publicly accessible Google documents. You can find a direct link to this Google document in the description box below. Our notes documents contain links to bonus videos, tools, and resources that we use to put together our weekly trading game plans. If you haven't already seen part 1 of our weekly trading game plan for this week of September 25th through September 29th, titled Fallout from the Hawkish Fed Hold, we would highly recommend you also view part 1, as that contains our market analysis, our strategies, trade ideas for this trading week, and provides us the input data to selecting our top swing trading stocks to watch for this week. So if you haven't already seen part 1, we'd highly recommend that you view that, and you can do so via the link in the notes and also on our BeachBum Trading YouTube channel. We keep all of our notes documents in a publicly accessible Google Drive folder, so you can refer back to the notes for part 1, as well as previous week's weekly trading game plans in this Google Drive folder, and you can find a direct link to that Google Drive folder in the description box below. Welcome to Ricky Khan. Thank you also for joining us. Hope you're doing well. So very quickly, we didn't really make any new trades this week with the FOMC meeting in the middle of the week. I was tempted to enter some of the REITs we've been watching, but with the risk that the Fed might hike 25 basis points at that Fed meeting on Wednesday, I held off, unfortunately, because as we'll see, the REITs really broke down after that. And again, even though they didn't hike the interest rates during this meeting, they did indicate that they expect the majority of the FOMC participants expect a future rate hike of at least 25 basis points coming up. And so again, we saw all the real estate sector and the REITs all broke down after that. So again, we'll talk about how we have been talking about, we'll talk about again how Paytience Pays in the stock market. We've talked about how September is historically a weak month, the worst trading month. We've been talking about this for a while. So again, Paytience Pays in the stock market, and as you'll see, by waiting to enter these trades, we'll actually have the opportunity to get a better price, get a better risk-reward profile. So again, Paytience Pays in the stock market, and we'll be talking about that again. If you would, however, like to get real-time trade alerts when we enter or exit any trade, you can get email notifications when we enter or exit a trade by joining any level of our Patreon. And also, we have a couple alerts channels in our Discord that I'll show you, and you get access to those via any level of our Patreon as well. So as we can see, one of the alerts channels in our Discord is a Thinkorswim alerts channel. I have price alerts set up in Thinkorswim that get automatically triggered and then automatically posted in the Thinkorswim alerts channel. As we can see on the 21st, which I believe was Thursday, right after the FOMC decision, we see several things broke down below their 52-week low. We see the two REITs that we're going to talk about that we've been watching, both Land and O, broke down below their 52-week low. And so again, negative reaction to those FOMC decision. We also see TLT, and we'll talk about TLT and TLTW, dividend payer on the treasuries. So we see TLT broke significantly below its 52-week low, and I guess it was the lowest since like 2007 or so. So again, you can get those alerts automatically posted in our Discord. If I do follow them up with a trade, I will reply to that alert in that Thinkorswim channel. And if it's a trade not related to a Thinkorswim alert, then I will post that directly in the trade alerts channel in our Discord. So again, if you would like to get real-time trade alerts when we enter or exit a trade, as well as those Thinkorswim automatically generated price alerts, you can get that information by joining any level of our Patreon. Again, I don't ever recommend that you follow us or anyone else into or out of trades. Make your own trade decisions, do your own due diligence. But if this would help you make money trading, help you succeed in your trading career, that's an option that you can exercise. So now we'll talk about our top swing trading stocks to watch, what we have on our real-time watch list. Grab a quick drink. Welcome, Ellen Krantz. Thank you for joining us. Hope you're doing well. So firstly, I'll just quickly review what we have on our top swing trading stocks to watch list, and then we'll look at the charts in Webull. So again, we've been watching some REITs, and we'll talk a lot about REITs, real estate. We just talk about the impact of the FOMC decision and their future projection of further rate hikes on real estate and REITs in general. We saw yesterday that over the past weeks, months, REITs have been beaten down, so we see potential opportunity here going forward. But again, it's a matter of patience. So we've got two. We've got Land, which is a REIT on farmland that we've traded successfully, profitably in the past. We're watching. And also O, Realty Income, a dividend aristocrat. We'll look at the dividends for both of those as well in our dividend payers Google sheet. Again, we've swung trade O numerous times in the past profitably. And just a reminder, they do have an at the money offering sitting out there that will provide some overhead resistance. So again, just be aware of that as it pops up, where there is some overhead resistance that will tend to dampen it until they close that offering. Just another reminder, if I make, firstly, any level of our Patreon also gives you access to a daily automatically generated web page that contains our watch list stocks, our bullpen stocks, including our price targets, additional information about dividend payers, ex-dividend dates, etc., yields, whether it's optionable, etc. So if you'd like to get more frequent updates to our watch list, you can get access to that by joining, again, any level of our Patreon. You can find a link here in the notes to our Patreon, as well as in the description box below. And then if I make any subsequent changes to our watch list after that web page has been generated, then I post it in the Stocks Watch List channel in our Discord, which again, all of our Patreon members have access to that channel as well. So again, if you'd like to get more frequent updates to our watch list and price targets, etc., that would help you make money trading, succeed in your trading career, you can get that information as well via any level of our Patreon. So now we'll jump over to Webull and look at those charts. So here's our top swing trading stocks to watch list in the online browser version of Webull. So here's Land. We're going to see both of these have broken down below their previous support level. So again, we were watching them around $14.95 or so. and land broke down significantly, down to 1430s. We're going to be watching both of these to see where they reach a stable bottom again and potentially start swinging back up. We might get a bounce. It's hard to say if we're going to get this early next week. It could, take some time. Right now it's trending down, So again, we're looking for it to form a new stable bottom support, swing back up. And again, you can see we're, getting a significantly better price. So again, patience pays. We'll get a better risk reward return. We also see land pays only about a 5-cent dividend per month. So again, once we do buy in, even if we don't get the very bottom, we'll get paid a small dividend while we wait for it to recover and swing back up. See, land's got plenty of upside, near term up to 16, maybe 17, and then longer term, up into the 20s. So again, we'll just look for that opportunity for real estate to start to recover, these REITs to bounce back up, and then we'll start picking up some of these REITs and holding them, collecting the dividend, and waiting for that price appreciation. Welcome, Easy Mike. Glad to see you. Thank you for joining us. So here's O, Realty Income. Again, we see it broke down below that 53.06 previous bottom on that Fed, projection of a further interest rate hike, broke down to 51.50. So again, by being patient and waiting for that breakdown, we're going to get, potentially a $2 or so, $1.50 in additional price appreciation. See, it's got upside up to about 64. Again, we see they both, all the REITs pretty much we're going to see broke down on that Fed projection of further interest rate hikes, waiting for these REITs to price in that future interest rate hike, form a new stable bottom, find a support, swing back up, and then again, we'd take positions in these REITs and collect their dividend, while we wait for the price appreciation. You can see O again, so Dividend Aristocrat, they raise their dividend a small amount each month, so it's about 25 cents a share. Welcome, Douglas PC. Thank you for joining us. Hope you're doing well. So now we'll talk about our bullpen stocks. If you're new to our channel, relatively new to our channel, the concept of the bullpen stocks are not ones we're watching real time, but they're ones that I've identified to have a potential positive setup in the near future. So we put them in the bullpen. I revisit them at the end of each day. If the setup improves, then we'll put them in the game, move them up to our top swing trading stocks to watch, real-time watch list, and then watch them from there. If they break down or run away, then we just take them out of the bullpen and we can revisit them again in the future. So we've got several, again, a couple additional REITs and some other stocks in our bullpen right now. LTC is another REIT on healthcare facilities. It had been running a little high. We'll see it rolled over as well and may be coming down to an attractive position. MP Materials we've been watching for a while. It had run away as well. And, again, the negative turn in the markets brought most stocks down. So we'll see if MP Materials comes back down to the support level that we'd like. That would give us the attractive risk-reward profile we like. You can hear our previous due diligence, why we like MP Materials, via the due diligence video, via the link in the notes here, and also you can find that on our channel. NSA, another REIT, this is on public storage. Again, it had run away a little bit, but again, got beaten down on the Fed interest rate decision, so we might get an opportunity to pick up NSA at the support level we'd like. And again, you can hear our previous due diligence on NSA via the link in the notes or on our channel as well. Also, we're going to talk again a little bit about utilities. We've been watching UTSL. Again, we thought we might have missed the bounce, the reversal in utilities, but we'll see if the markets continue to decline. We might be able to catch that seasonal swing in utilities. And again, you can hear our further discussion about that seasonal swing in utilities that we're watching for via the bonus link in the notes here. So now we'll jump over to Webull and we'll look at the charts for each of those bullpen stocks. Just a quick reminder, if you're not already using Webull, they're still offering up to 12 free stocks if you fund and open and fund an account in Webull. Also still offering, I believe, their 5% interest on idle cash in your cash account. So as you can see, we use Webull for our stock analysis, our market analysis, our due diligence, as well as the majority of our trading. So, and if you join Webull with our affiliate link in the description box below, you can also help support our BeachBum trading community, which we greatly appreciate. So again, here's our bullpen watch list in the online browser version of Webull. Again, Webull's nice. You can have multiple watch lists. It's easy to quick flip between them. So here's LTC, and you can see it had run up. I'll zoom in a little bit. You see where our ideal price target is at that previous low. See it rolled over a little bit. We'll see if it holds at this previous support at 31.50 or so, or comes back down to this 30.17. See potential upside into the mid 30s. So again, we can see it rolled over, not as severe a reaction as some of the other REITs, but it looks like it's coming back down. We can see it pays about a 19-cent per month dividend. Here's MP Materials. Again, we see it ran up from that 1918 bottom and then been declining. We'll see if we can get a shot again down near this 1918 level. So we see it came down pretty severely this week. So maybe we'll get another shot at MP Materials down at that attractive around 1920 level again. NSA, again, this public storage, again, we see it took a significant hit on that FOMC decision. So again, that Hawkish Fed Hold punished the REITs, the real estate, so they came down quite a bit. You see it had run up from that 30.91 bottom, or about 31, a pretty steep decline. We'll again see if it continues to decline. It starts to get back down to that 31 level. Again, we like the thesis of public storage, going forward. Again, you see it pays about a 56-cent quarterly dividend. So again, another potential REIT for a long-term swing and dividend potential. See, it's got plenty of upside long-term up into the low 40s. So again, get paid the dividend while we wait for that longer-term swing and price appreciation. Yeah, Flippa says LTC is a classic senior living REIT. So yeah, we've traded LTC before, swung LTC profitably in the past, and again, it's one of the REITs that we like. Again, the healthcare or senior housing market has long-term potential. UTSL, again, the utilities sector we've been watching. Again, we thought we might have missed that bounce and that it was just going to continue to swing up, but again, it looks like it's rolled over. So we might get another shot at it. Again, if the markets continue to decline, although this is, again, a flight to safety sector. So we might continue to see more upside in utilities on that flight to safety as the markets decline. But again, if it comes down to this, 20 area or so, and then bounces again, we see, plenty of upside potential into the upper 30s. So, and it does pay a quarterly dividend. You see about 14-cent or 12-cent quarterly dividend. So again, another dividend payer for a long-term swing. But again, price appreciation on all of these is more attractive than just the dividend. And again, we'll talk about different dividend strategies, etc., when we get to our dividend payers Google sheet as well. So Flip also likes NSA. Yep. So in terms of our shopping list stocks, again, with the decline in the markets this week, the negative reaction to the Hawkish Fed Hold that we got, it's always wise to have your shopping list ready. If you see an irrational reaction, to these, which we kind of saw in the REITs. Now with interest rates going up, that means mortgage rates, etc., loans, the cost of these REITs goes up, and that's probably the reason for the negative reaction. Although the Fed again's been telling us for a long time they're going to raise rates, one or two more times this year. So it was a little irrational, the severe negative reaction we got, but it may present that opportunity, and being patient, we might be able to get those REITs at a cheap price once that gets fully priced in. So again, have your shopping list ready. If there's something you always wanted to buy and you get such an irrational reaction, then that might be a time to buy it, even if you don't get the cheapest price. We talked in more detail about how to manage your shopping list, how to identify sales in the stock market in this video on back to school sale in the stock market, and how to manage your shopping list, what to avoid, zombie stocks, zombie companies, etc. So you can listen to those details, and also what to do in the meantime while you're waiting for attractive stock prices to present themselves, not over trading, etc. So again, you can hear more details of that in our back to school sale in the stock market video via the link in the notes, or again on our channel. Okay, let me grab a quick drink and we'll jump over to our dividend payers Google sheet. So if anyone has some dividend payers that you'd like to look at in more detail, you can throw those up in the chat. If I happen to miss one that you posted previously, please let us know, and I'll try to take a look at those as well. Just a sec. Okay, just a quick reminder, if you'd like to have 24/7 access to our dividend payers Google sheet, as well as our ETFs Google sheet, and our puts ROIC, some of our option strategy Google sheets, you can get 24/7 access to all of these Google sheets by joining our Patreon at the all access or VIP level. So here I also, just a note, I cleaned up our dividend payers Google sheet a little bit. I removed the old dividend payers 1 sheet and the temp sheet, so now it's a little bit cleaner. We have just our main dividend payers sheet with all the information about our dividend payers, and then those that we research on the add tab, which you can also always put your symbols, enter your data in the add tab. Like we did last week with NNN. So you can fill out one of these rows, the white columns, the price, and these will automatically fill risk reward profile. So again, you can do your own research on a dividend payer on the ad sheet, or again, if you let us know of one you'd like us to do the research on, we can plug that in and then take a look at that, see if it has the risk reward and characteristics that we look for in a dividend payer. So we'll look at some of the ones we identified already. Talked about land, O. So here's land, again, 5-cent monthly dividend. You can see the risk reward profiles identified. So longer term, pretty attractive. Again, that's one we're watching for more for price appreciation than for just the 5-cent dividend. Here's LTC as well. You can see the 19th. You can also get the ex-dividend dates here in our Google Sheet, so you can see when you have to buy it before to collect that dividend. You can see the frequency of the dividend and also the dividend yield and the adjusted yield, which also compensates for price appreciation. So again, with the interest rates around 5%, money markets around 5%, treasuries around 5%. You're going to want a yield, generally that's better than 5% to take the additional risk of owning that stock. Talked about O. Again, O's got a 26 dividend. Their next ex-dividend's 929. So this week maybe when we need to buy O. And even if we don't get the bottom price, we might want to get O before the 29th to collect that monthly dividend. And you can see it's got decent price appreciation. NSA as well. Talked about the storage. So you see his 56-cent quarterly dividend. You can see the yields, 6.8 adjusted yield. So it's got decent price appreciation, decent adjusted yield. So quarterly dividend. It just went ex-dividend on 9/14, so you've got a ways to wait for that one. I know several popular ones are JEPI, JEPQ. So we see they go ex-dividend at the beginning of the month. We see they pay $34.45. We see what their risk and reward is. So again, they're still pretty high. They're relatively stable. So again, and maybe if we have time, I have some questions to ask the community about possible enhancements to this dividend payers Google Sheet. So if we have time, maybe we'll talk about some potential enhancements to this to support other types of dividend strategies. I believe like Easy Mike buys into these JEPI, JEPQ, SAR, several others, and maybe looking for more stability versus price appreciation. You can correct me if that's not correct, but there might be some additional data that might be helpful to support that type of strategy, looking for more stable dividend payers versus those that have the price appreciation. So someone also mentioned another storage one. I don't have PSA in here. That's another public storage one. Price is pretty high on PSA. That's why I like NSA a little bit better. Yeah, Mike says they move slow. So again, and that may be what you're looking for is more stability. So some people's dividend payer strategies might be stable, collect the dividend, not have to worry about potential risk, whereas others might be looking for more price appreciation. And again, the data in our Google Sheet hopefully would help you with whatever dividend payment strategy you're looking for. We've shown before, you can also, filter these columns. You select there, select filter, and then you can enter various criteria, be it future, ex-dividend date. You could select for dividend yield greater than 5%, etc. Monthly, if you want monthly dividend payers. So again, many ways you can use this Google Sheet to construct the dividend payment strategy that meets your needs. I see AMT. I'll see if I have any of those. AMT, CCI. I don't have AMT. Can't tell if that's a CCI or CCJ. I have CCJ. Doesn't look like that's paid quite a while. SUI, I believe we have. That's a residential. So here's SUI. And also, again, you have the categories. You can see the category and the industry section. So we see this as a residential REIT, SUI. Pays a pretty nice dividend, 93 cents. That yields only 3%, but it's got decent price appreciation. So, 1.4. So with that price appreciation, we get an adjusted yield of almost 45%. So that's pretty nice. Now, again, it goes ex-dividend on the 28th. So if that's one that you'd like, if you like that potential, then you'd want to buy before the 28th, which is this week. So also, I wanted to talk about TLT and TLTW. We talked about that seasonal downtrend in treasuries that we've been watching. We saw TLT, we got that price alert that TLT broke down, below its 52-week, broke down to a low, I guess they said like 2007. So we see it's, TLT's downtrending. Now, again, yesterday we talked about treasuries with this additional 25 basis point hike, potentially in end of October or in December. That's going to drive treasury yields up, prices down. So TLT, might take a further hit. The question again is whether they've already priced that additional 25 basis point rate hike into TLT, into the treasuries, or, when they get that priced in, then TLT and TLTW should bottom. And we're looking for that bottom as an opportunity to buy treasuries long. Another way to do treasuries long is TMF. We already have a long position in TMF. It's a leveraged position. So you can see the dividends of TLT versus TLTW, the yields. When that bottom occurs, we're going to want to compare this data, the yields, the risk reward profiles, etc., and make a decision, what's the better dividend payer for a long-term swing in treasuries? Is it TLT, TLTW? Again, if you want to play, the more volatile swing, TMF is another option. But again, it only pays a small quarterly dividend. The dividend payer options would be TLT, TLTW. So I hope that helps. Yeah, and yesterday, Easy Mike says he's hedging the downside on treasuries with TBT. So while we looked at that yesterday, there are several short ETFs you can use to short treasuries. So while it's downtrending, you can make money with TBT or as a potential hedge, waiting for the bottom and swing back up. So I hope that all helps. So again, if I missed anybody's dividend payer you want to look at, please throw it back up in the chat. Here's UTSL. Again, pays a small dividend quarterly. Again, not one you'd hold for the dividend yield, but again, it's for the price appreciation. Got a nice potential swing price appreciation of, 2 greater than 2. And you get paid, quarterly while you wait for that long-term swing to occur. Okay. So again, if I missed your dividend payer, please let us know. Also, if you'd like us to do research on an additional dividend payer, any of the ones that were mentioned or others, you can put that in the comments to this video. You can also always contact us via our Discord. Just tag at BeachBum Trading. It's all lowercase. There's our ID, BeachBum Trading, all lowercase, no pounds, no numbers. Anyone else is an imposter. You can also always contact us via any of our social media links in our Facebook group, Reddit community, etc. And you can find links to all our social media sites, both in the notes documents, in the description to the videos, and in the link section on our homepage, beachbumtrading.com, bum without the U. So again, if you'd like us to research either a dividend payer, an ETF, and we'll look at puts as well. So if you'd like us to do research on a put, we can also do that as well. And we'll look at our option strategies next. And you can find a series of videos on how we constructed this dividend payer Google Sheet, how you can use it to construct your own dividend payment income strategy via this series of videos on how to find the best dividend paying stocks. And you can access that series via the link in the notes. See Easy Mike's talking about HYG, LOD, and junk. And yeah, we have all of those also in our dividend payer Google Sheet. So you can find information on all of those as well. Here's junk. So again, I guess I don't have HYG here. LQD. And I don't have LQD. So again, if you'd like us to do further research on those, if we've done previous research on one, you can find it in the Add tab. So I can always do a find, HYG. So I've done that previously. So again, you can find the data for HYG on the Add tab. LQD. So I've done HYG and LQD. You can see, again, the data for those two on the Add tab. So again, if you don't find it in the dividend payer sheet, you can always do a find on the Add sheet. If we've done previous research, you can find that data for those stocks on the Add tab. So I hope that all helps. Okay, let me grab a quick drink and we'll talk about our option strategies. Okay, so several option strategies we use to also generate income while we wait for swing trades to present, to improve, setups to improve, etc. Or, like we said, September, we're kind of patiently waiting for September to end, and the markets to historically tend to trend up through the rest of the year. So patiently waiting for that bottom and bounce in the markets. So our option strategies include selling covered calls against our existing positions, buying them back cheaper, and selling puts on stocks that are declining. In our case, cash secured puts generally, and then buying those back cheaper. So again, in the declining market, you might get some opportunities to sell some puts as the market declines, and then buy them back on the bounce, make some additional generate your own essential dividends on the difference in premium. So we'll look at some potential put opportunities that we can identify in our puts ROIC Google Sheet. And again, if you would like to access 24/7 to this puts ROIC Google Sheet, as well as our dividend payers and ETF Google Sheets, you can get 24/7 access to all of those by joining our Patreon at the All Access or VIP level. So the VIX did pop up a little bit, and we did get some additional volatility. So some of the premiums are getting a little more attractive, but they're still not the level that we would like in order to compete with, just sitting on cash and making 5% by sitting on cash. But you can see in the main watch list sheet, the one I'm primarily interested in that we made money recently is on Moderna. You can see the premium is starting to go up, but the ROIC, I'll zoom this in a little bit more, hopefully it'll still be legible. So we could see the return on capital still only 3% at this 311. I've identified a top price of about 720. So if I have identified a previous near-term top price, I'll put it in the sell price column. We see at that 720, it'd be about a 6.7% return. So that's more attractive than the 5%. The other one is Disney's actually below. I guess not quite below, so I changed that. I moved that down to 80, so we can see at 495 that would be a little bit over 5%. So that if that's attractive, if you're not already long Disney and you're interested in selling a put, if that's one you want to hold and want to collect the premium, in case, if you want to play wheel strategy on that and possibly collect that premium, we'll see. If anyone in the chat has any of these puts you want to specifically look at, we can do that. Just let me know. End phase we've talked about. Again, very low return on invested capital. Even at the highest price I've identified near term, it's still below 5%, so not very attractive. Also, negative sentiment, negative tailwinds in the solar sector, so I'm not terribly interested in those. Another one that's interesting, I thought, was Albemarle. Albemarle really broke down. It's now below the strike price I was looking at, and even at that price, it's still only a less than 4% return on invested capital. So, but the chart of Albemarle looked pretty ugly. Also, the Realty Income we talked about broke down below its previous 52-week low, so that's now in the money. So again, I'm more interested in longing shares of O, but if that's something you want to look at and buy a strike down at 50, I don't know what the premium on a 50 strike price might be, but if you're interested in that, let us know. We can run the numbers on that as well. So again, the pricing in here is based on Google functions, so those will update in near real time, 20-minute delay, but sufficient to see if the stock's moving up or down. So if it's moving down, we might be interested in selling a put. If it's moving back up and we've sold one, then maybe we're interested in buying it back. And then the rest of these gray columns are automatically updated by our automated systems at the end of each day. So again, then we can see, if there's any new ones that are going to be more attractive for selling puts the following day. And again, I use this option seller ROI tool at the end of each day to see if there's any others that we might consider adding to our systems to potentially sell puts on the following day. And again, if you'd like us to do research on any subsequent puts, just let us know. You can put it in the comments. Let us know the symbol, the strike price, the expiration date, etc. And we can add those to our automated systems and our puts ROIC Google sheet for you. And then hopefully that will help anything additional that you'd like to potentially sell a put on. Again, you can hear how we've put this together, how all of this works, how you can use it to generate additional income, your own essential dividends via this series on option strategies for beginners with examples. And also we have additional videos in our options YouTube playlist on how to sell covered calls in E-Trade, Webull, etc., puts, etc. in our options playlist. So, okay, we've got a few minutes. I can answer any questions. We can talk about other topics. If anyone in the chat would like, if I missed your question previously, I apologize. Please throw it back up in the chat, ideally with a question mark, so I can respond to that. So I think it was Alan was asking about NVIDIA. I'm not sure what the question is in terms of NVIDIA. We can look at the puts for NVIDIA. I have that in the sheet. We'll look at that in a sec. So you can see right now, here's the put I have identified on NVIDIA. I have the price, strike price way down at 105. So the premium, there isn't much premium there. We can look at the chart of NVIDIA. So again, another feature in this Google Sheet is in the comments column. It has an automatically generated link to the FinViz profile for that stock. So we can very quickly jump over and we can see, the chart, the profile for any of those stocks. So again, I've got the strike way down, at the 52-week low. Again, I think NVIDIA is very high. If you wanted to take a shorter term, sell a shorter term put, looks like that 400 level is a pretty good support, or you could go down to just below the previous gap. 366 looks like the low of the previous gap. So 365, you could check the premiums on those. Again, shorter term, but again, you've got some risk. So again, our strategy is pretty low risk. And again, we're buying stocks that, we'd be comfortable owning for a longer term swing. Again, we're not, just a buy and hold, but a longer term swing. So Disney, Moderna, stocks like that. And then we're utilizing the wheel strategy. If we happen to get a sign, and we'd sell covered calls against it until the price appreciation hits a resistance, and we'd sell the shares and rinse and repeat. So again, if anyone has any subsequent questions, topics you'd like to discuss or have us discuss in future game plans, please put it in the comments to this video. Please contact us in our Discord or our other communities, Facebook group, Reddit community, etc., or via any of our social media sites. Again, you can find those in the link section of our homepage, in the descriptions to the videos, in the notes, etc. We'd also love your feedback on how can we improve our weekly trading game plan videos, any of our videos, our tools, resources, etc., to add more value for all of our BeachBum traders. So please let us know, what can we do to add more value for all of our BeachBum traders. We greatly appreciate your feedback and your input. Since I've got just a couple minutes, I did want to ask that question about our dividend payers Google Sheet. We were talking about stability possibly being an objective for some people that are interested in dividend payers, and almost everyone may be interested in dividend payers to some degree, whether it's holding for the actual cash dividend over a longer period of time, or collecting a dividend while you wait for a swing trade to get maximal price appreciation. So if there's additional data that you would like to see in here that would help for a stability factor, one of the pieces of data I was thinking of possibly is there is volatility data in the FinViz. Let me see. Here's volatility, and I think that's a week. So you've got weekly volatility and monthly volatility. and I have that data in our database. So if that type of information or the average true range data, if that would be data that would help you look at a stability factor, again, we have the risk reward profiles, so you can see where it is relative, what the relative risk is to the relative reward based on the support and resistance levels. But if volatility or average true range might be helpful to you if you're looking for, a stable dividend payer, please let me know. Or if there's other pieces of data from FinBiz profiles or elsewhere that you would find helpful in constructing your dividend payer strategy, or again, any of our other Google Sheets, ETFs, puts ROIC, etc., please let me know, and we can try to make those enhancements. Percent of return based on current price. Alan Krantz says, well, the yield of a dividend payer is the percent dividend. So let's see, essentially divided by the price. It's an annualized yield of the dividend payment amount. So on the add tab, see, here's the actual dividend payment amount. Here's the percentage. So that's the yield that on the FinBiz profile, when you see a percentage, so here's JEPI, that percent, 9.88, is the annual dividend essentially divided by the price. So if the current price is 54, dividend's 535, you divide that dividend amount by the current price, and that gives you the dividend percentage or the dividend yield. So that is the return on the current price. So as the price of a stock goes down, the yield goes up. So again, don't be misled that, it's something that's got a really high dividend yield. It may be because the price is going down. And if it continues to go down, the dividend yield percentage is going to go up. So that's why we look at the dividend amount, and we look at the actual dividend, and then the adjusted yield that we have in our Google Sheet takes that actual yield, the dividend, what they're actually paying divided by the price, and also adds how much price appreciation between where the current price is and the potential resistance level, and then divides that into the current price, and that gives us then the adjusted yield. So that says, if it goes up to the resistance price, I'm collecting their actual declared dividend, plus I get this reward price appreciation. So again, typically in our strategy of swing trading, I'm looking more for an adjusted yield. So I hope that all helps. But that's a good question. I hope that answers your question, Alan, and I hope that helps everyone understand how yields work, and why some of these stocks, their yield keeps going up even though they're not changing their actual dividend. If they cut their dividend, then obviously that would cause the yield to go down. So again, any other questions you all have, please put them in the comments in our Discord. I hope to see you all during the trading week in our Discord. We can continue these chats, 24/7 in our Discord. We'll try to respond as we're able. And again, thank you all for joining us. And we hope you have a good trading week, September 25th through September 29th. And good luck and have a great trading week.